Ragnar. Yes. Welcome to Pi Academy, the place for mathematics and science. Dear students, let's continue to discuss the chapter acids, bases, and salts. And before going to continue, just we shall recall some of the important points what we discussed in yesterday's class. Could you name the ions that are produced by an acid when it is dissolved in water? It is hydrogen ion. What do you say about the bases? Hydroxide ion. Means hydroxide ion is produced by the base when it is used in water or when it is dissolved in water. Then how is salt formed? It is the reaction. It is formed by the reaction between an acid and base. Then which among these is an electrolyte? Acids are electrolytes. Bases are electrolytes. Why? Because they conduct electricity, of course. Reason? Yeah, as they produce ion on dissolving in water. So that, and ions are responsible for conducting the electricity. Hence, we can say that acids and bases are electrolytes. Then do you say the salts are electrolytes? No. Yes, the salts can be considered as electrolytes under a condition. What is the condition? Yes, when they are in aqueous form. If it is salt solution, if any salt solution like iron sulfate, copper sulfate, sodium chloride solution, if when they are in solution form, then only they act as electrolytes. Why? In their aqueous form, they produce their respective ions. Like if sodium chloride solution is prepared, then the ions that are produced are sodium and chloride. If copper sulfate is dissolved in water, it gets dissociated into copper ion as well as sulfate ion, that is Cu2 plus and SO4 2 minus, which are responsible for conducting the electricity. Hence, we can say that all the salts are electrolytes only in their aqueous form, right? Then, to identify the given compound is an acid or base, we go for using a chemical substance or a dye. What it is called? Indicators. So we have different types of indicators, and we have classified them as natural indicators, synthetic indicators, olfactory indicators, and universal indicators. Then among these, phenolphthalein indicator, which is this? Whether it is natural, synthetic, olfactory, it is synthetic indicator. Then phenolphthalein indicator, when it is used in acid, what is its action? It will be colorless only. Whereas in case of base, it turns pink, right? Then what is the actual color of the indicator called? Litmus. It is purple. What happens when it is used in acid? It turns red. Then when it is used in base, it turns blue, right? Then similarly, we go for using the petals of some of the flowers as indicators, like, yes, China rose can be used, then hydrangea, petunia, and geranium. Please do remember. Then turmeric is also an indicator. It is a natural indicator which is used for testing. Which one? Acid or base? It is base. Then what is its action in case of base? It turns red, right? Yeah, and even we'll also go for using red cabbage. Red cabbage for testing acid and base. What is its action with the base? It is green color. So this much was discussed. Now we are moving to the next part of this chapter. In the next part, we will go for describing the acids and bases as well as salts by changing their identity, and we call these properties as chemical properties. Chemical properties are the properties which describe about the matter by changing their identities. So now we'll move on to these chemical properties one by one. First, I'll go for chemical properties of acids. Right, side A. Chemical properties of acids. With respect to acids, we will go for describing 4 important chemical properties. Hope that you might have already read the textbook. If yes, could you tell them? Yeah, reaction of acids with metal. Next, reaction of acids with metal carbonate or metal bicarbonate. Then third one, reaction of acid with the base. And fourth one is reaction of acids with metal oxides. We all know that metal oxides are basic in nature, right? So these are the 4 important chemical properties. Got it? Yes. Could you recall them one by one? Yes. Reaction of acids with metal carbonate or metal bicarbonate. Then with base, with metal oxide. So let us go for describing one by one. Among them, let me take the first one, reaction of acids with metals. Right. Reaction with metals. Now we will come to know what happens when acid reacts with metal. Now please don't go for writing anything. Just keep observing the board. Look here. We have an activity to understand how an acid reacts with metal, and due to the reaction, what are the products are formed. Let's come to know that. Just now, roughly I'll go for drawing. You should not go for copying anything. Just you have to observe the board only. Look here. Here, I'll go for taking a test tube. In this, let me take a metal. Let us call this metal as Zl. What is that? Zinc. And let us fix this test tube to the iron stand. This is iron stand. Now, I am going to use, let us close the mouth of the test tube with 2-hole rubber cork. In one of the holes, let me go for inserting a tissue funnel. You know that what it is, right? Could you tell what it is? It is the funnel which is used for adding an acid, which is called tissue funnel. Next, let me go for using a delivery tube, and one end of it is inserted into the rubber cork and other end is to be inserted into the tumbler or a beaker containing the soap solution. See, this is the experimental arrangement. Very simple. Once I repeat, take some zinc granules in a test tube, then fix it to the iron stand. Then close the mouth of the test tube with a 2-hole rubber cork. Next point, insert a tissue funnel in one of the holes, then and take a delivery tube, insert one of its ends into the rubber cork, then other end into the beaker containing soap solution. Now, procedure. As we are going to study about reaction of acids with metals. Already one metal is taken. Now we need to choose any one acid. Let us go for choosing the acid. Dilute sulfuric acid or dilute hydrochloric acid. What is the sulfuric acid formula? H2SO4. We will go for adding dilute sulfuric acid to the test tube containing zinc granule through fission funnel. Followed. It is added. Then what will be your observation? Immediately you will notice that the formation of bubbles on the zinc granules. Zinc granules made very small bubbles are formed, and these bubbles will start coming out also, which are filled with the gas. These are gas bubbles. And to test that gas bubbles, so we will pass this gas into the beaker containing soap solution through delivery tube. In the soap solution, we will get the big gas bubbles and which are filled, the bubbles which are filled with gas. It will be coming like this. Now bring a lighted mastic or lighted candle nearby each of these, and you will come to know that they burst with pop sound. They burst with pop sound, which indicates hydrogen gas is evolved, right? Then, when the reaction takes place completely, then observe the content which is present in the test tube. It will turn to dark color, that is black color. And do you know what it is? What do you call this residue remained after the reaction? Yes, it is a salt, and we call that salt as zinc sulfate. Followed. So from this activity, we can come to know that an acid that is H2SO4, it reacts with the metal called zinc to produce the salt called zinc sulfate with the liberation of hydrogen gas. Understood? Very simple. The conclusion can be drawn like this. When acid reacts with a metal, it produces salt with the liberation of hydrogen gas. Salt with the liberation of hydrogen gas. So question can be asked, name the products that are formed when acid reacts with a metal. What do you write? What do you write? Salt with the liberation of hydrogen gas, or else salt and hydrogen gas. Whether it is balanced? Yes, it is balanced only. Observe. Here we all know that during the chemical reaction, here actually the zinc, it displaces hydrogen ion which is present in the hydrogen sulfate, then forms a compound called zinc sulfate, and this hydrogen, it gets liberated. Now let me go for taking few more examples. I take HCl. This is a dilute acid, hydrochloric acid. What happens when it reacts with zinc? It forms a salt called, yes, zinc chloride. Chemical formula? ZnCl2 with the liberation of hydrogen gas. Varsha HR, look at the board. Then let me go for taking another one. Here, H2SO4 plus Mg. Yes, it is magnesium sulfate plus hydrogen. The salt is magnesium sulfate and the gas is hydrogen. Let me go for taking one more. HNO3 plus Mn. Name this acid. Nitric acid. Metal. Manganese. When this acid reacts with manganese, produces manganese nitrate with the liberation of hydrogen gas. What is the chemical formula of the salt called manganese nitrate? MnNO3 twice. We are very familiar with ions. It is Mn2 plus, then NO3 1 minus, crossing over the charges. MnNO3 twice, plus hydrogen gas is liberated. Understood? Similarly, I go for taking magnesium, HNO3 plus Mg. The salt that is formed is Mg, NO3 twice plus hydrogen. Name the acid which is present in the vinegar. Acetic acid. What is its chemical formula? CH3 COOH. Then let me go for taking one of the strong metal, highly reactive metal, potassium and sodium. Among these two, let me go for taking sodium. Name the salt that is formed. In an example, name the salt that is formed. Name the products that are formed when acetic acid reacts with a metal called sodium. ನೀವು ಅಯಾನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಯಾನ್ ಹೇಳಿ.
Sir, unmute your audio. Sir, unmute your audio.
CH3 COO minus, then H plus.
C2H2NaO2.
It replaces H plus.
Sodium acetate.
Yes, very good, very good. It is CH3 COO Na. CH3 COO Na. This is sodium acetate. Even you can also write it as NaCH3 COO. Follow? It is sodium acetate. Then with the liberation of hydrogen. Follow? Once you tell the conclusion, what happens when acid reacts with the metal?
Liberation of salts and
Liberation
of salts and hydrogen.
Liberation of hydrogen.
Produces the salt with the liberation of hydrogen. What happens when metal reacts with acid? Same only.
Same.
Acid reacts with metal to produce salt and hydrogen gas. Then metal reacts with acid to produce salt
and
Hydrogen gas.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
And in the examination, they may give the question like this. Wait, I'll tell you that how it was given in the examination. The question was like this. Which gas is usually liberated when an acid reacts with the metal?
Hydrogen gas.
Hydrogen gas.
Right?
Hydrogen gas.
Sub-question is illustrate with an example. Means
So we should write the
H2SO4 plus zinc is given as to zinc sulfate plus hydrogen.
ಈಗ ಬರೀ example ಅಂತ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ illustrate with an example ಅಂತ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ difference ಇರುತ್ತೆ. If they ask you to give an example, you'll write any one of these. Illustrate ಅಂದ್ರೆ they expect you to draw the figure as well. Got it? You have to draw a neat level diagram. They are not asked the explanation. Just illustrating with an example. Drawing a level diagram and writing the chemical reaction. Follow? Next. Sub-question. Another sub-question. How will you test for the presence of this gas?
Taking a candle towards it. And if it produces pops on it.
The gas release is to be passed into the soap solution. Then bubbles are formed. When the lighted mastic is brought nearby the gas bubbles, then they burst with the pop sound, which indicates the gas evolved is hydrogen. Got it? Idistu baribe. Do you know for how much marks it was given? 4 marks. 4 marks. Followed. There are 4 sub questions. Which gas is liberated in the first kerida? Hydrogen anta barite. Second one, illustration kerida. Illustration. Exam. Illustrate with a suitable example. For figure, 1.5 marks. And writing the reaction, half marks. Then how do you come to know the presence of this gas? 1 mark. Total 4 marks. Then other than this, even the question can also be asked like this. Explain the activity with a neat level diagram to show the reaction of an acid with a metal. So you will have to draw the figure and you have to write the procedure. Clear up? Yes. And go on writing with me. First, draw the figure. Please draw with me quick as possible. First, let me draw a test tube. This is a test tube. Next, just beside that one, draw an iron stand. Draw an iron stand. To this iron stand, we will fix the test tube. Can be shown like this. Next, draw the rubber cup. Then here you may show the zinc granules. Next, draw a funnel which is used for adding an acid. Please go on drawing with me so that you can save the time. Next, draw the delivery tube which is used for passing the gas into the soap solution. This is the delivery tube. Over. Then you may draw a tumbler or else a beaker. Here I am drawing a tumbler in which soap solution is to be taken. Next, here I draw that and complete that iron stand. You will draw the iron stand like this. Draw like a trapezium and draw the support. And here you can also show the acid. Next, here, show the gas bubble. Then, one of the gas bubble here, it burst with pump sound as we bring a lighted candle or else lighted match. Now let's go for labeling them quick as possible. you write with me? Hope that you have completed the drawing. But now, you will. Vijayalakshmi? Yes. First one. What is this? It is fission funnel. And this is the funnel used for adding an acid. Next. Tell that. What is this?
Delivery tube.
It is the delivery tube used for passing the gas into the soap solution. Right. Delivery tube. Next. Name this.
Rubber cork.
Rubber cork. Rubber cork. Next. Name this. Test tube.
Test tube.
Also called boiling tube. Then what about this?
Bubbles.
Gas filled bubbles. Gas filled bubble. Next. Here only I'll write. What is this? No. Observe. What has been added? Acid.
Hydrogen gas.
Dilute H2SO4. ಯಾವ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀರೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು. Dilute H2SO4. Next. Now you tell. Zinc granules. Zinc granules means small pieces of zinc. Next. This is the tumbler or beaker. Beaker. Next. What about this?
Soap solution.
Soap solution. Now listen. Procedure and it takes more time. As I have already distributed the notes, you can just go through my notes. Then, instead of making you to write, once I go for repeating the procedure, arrangement as well as procedure. Please listen to me. Stop writing. And repeatedly I have been telling, should go on writing with me. First point, don't copy, just observe. First point is, take some zinc granules in a test tube and fix it to the iron stand. Second point, close the mouth of the test tube with a 2-hole rubber cork and insert a tissue funnel into one of the 2 holes. Third point, take a delivery tube, insert one end of it into the rubber cork and other end into the soap solution, a beaker containing soap solution. Followed. Next, this is the arrangement. Procedure. Add dilute sulfuric acid to the test tube containing zinc granules through a tissue funnel. It is observed that the reaction, the vigorous reaction taking place in the test tube, and also a gas is evolved, and this gas passes into the soap solution through delivery tube, and the gas bubbles are the bubbles which are filled with the gas will come out. Next, take a lighted matchstick or lighted candle and bring them nearby the gas bubbles, and it is noticed that the bubbles are burst with the pop sound, which indicates hydrogen gas is liberated. Next, when the reaction completes, a residue will remain in the test tube, which is called the salt. That salt is zinc sulfate. So from this activity, we can conclude that when acid reacts with the metal, produces salt with the liberation of hydrogen gas. Got it? Just to remember that. Now here, I'll go for writing the observation and the final, the general chemical equation. Here on that. So we observe that when acid reacts with a metal, produces salt and hydrogen gas. But E chemical reaction barithi. Now we thought it. So we have taken dilute H2SO4, H2SO4 plus, just below this figure only you write dilute H2SO4 plus Zn gives rise to ZnSO4 plus
N2 plus H2.
H2. How do you make it as more informative? You can balance it to so no problem.
Evolution of hydrogen with the upward arrow mark
Yes,
next to hydrogen.
We will follow some of the criteria to make a chemical equation as more informative. That we have learned in first chapter only. Yeah, we have done by indicating the physical state.
Physical state.
Then here, physical state. What is the physical state of H2SO4? Solid or liquid or gas?
Liquid.
Liquid.
Next.
Solid. Solid.
Solid.
Solid.
Sulfate. Solid.
Gaseous.
Solid.
Solid.
Yes.
Gas.
ಈಗ ನಾವು ಡೈಲ್ಯೂಟ್ H2SO4 ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So you can also write it as aqueous. And what is the other thing? One is by indicating the physical state. Second one, by indicating
arrow marks.
the reaction condition. In the reaction condition ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Directly they'll undergo chemical reaction. And further,
Liberation of gas.
if heat is absorbed, it's to be written on the left hand side. If heat
It is evolved.
to be written on the right hand side. It becomes warm only. Hangagi no need to write. Next, we also know that the gas
Liberation of
is liberated. Yes.
Liberation of gases.
Upward arrow mark. Reference is just an Now here I'll write the general chemical equation for this reaction of acid with metal. General chemical equation. What is GCE? General chemical equation. Tell that.
General chemical equation.
Acid plus
Metal.
Acid plus metal
Gives
Gives
rise
rise
to
to
salt plus
gives rise to
Salt
solid
plus
plus water.
hydrogen.
plus
Water.
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen.
Right. Hydrogen. Highlight this with a box. This is very important. General chemical equation. Over. Now let us go for writing few examples. Right. First example. HCl plus Zn gives rise to ZnCl2 plus H2. Write these example.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Sir, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
So you have a last minute of time, dear children. You have a last minute of time. Everyone, please turn on your video till the end. It is a last call.
Sir.
You have a last minute. Sir, continue, sir.
Okay. Next one. You're right. Dilute H2SO4 reacts with magnesium Mg to produce a salt called magnesium sulfate with the liberation of hydrogen. Next, dilute nitric acid reacts with manganese to produce manganese nitrate with the liberation of hydrogen gas. Similarly, another important one. Here, acetic acid CH3COOH reacts with a reactive metal called sodium to produce the salt called sodium acetate, which is CH3COONA plus hydrogen gas is liberated. Over. Over. Listen. We are very familiar with the fruit items which contain acids, right? Not only that, even many food items which contain acids. Among them, let me go for taking one, that is some pieces of lemon are there, nothing but pickles. Pickles are there. Is it wise thinking to store them in a metallic container? Metallic box?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Usually
No,
we'll
sir.
go for storing them in the plastic container or ceramic container. Alva?
Plastic container.
Why it is not suitable to store those food items in the metallic containers?
Because it
Acid
will react with the
Usually the food items which are sour in taste, they contain acids. When they are stored in metallic container, they slowly react with the metal to produce the poisonous salt. Got it? So then food get spoiled. So that is why, to avoid that, we will go for storing them in the ceramic container or plastic containers. Got it? Reasoning question. No need to write, but general information it is. Okay. Now we are moving to second one. What is that second one? Reaction with metal carbonate as well as metal bicarbonate.
metal hydrogen carbonate.
Example for metal carbonate. One example. Lakshana.
Sodium bicarbonate.
Metal carbonate, sodium carbonate, magnesium carbonate, aluminum carbonate, zinc carbonate, nickel carbonate, like that. Many are there. Is it not? What is magnesium carbonate formula?
Sir.
G.
MgCO3.
Sir.
CO3.
Twice. Sure. Then one of the metal carbonate which is used as washing powder.
Na2CO3 soda.
Na2CO3.
Sodium
Sodium
carbonate. Right? Wait. Sodium carbonate formula.
Na2CO3.
Na2CO. E formula.
MgCO3, sir.
MgCO3, sir.
Earlier you said something. Is it
Point one.
MgCO3 only? Yes or no? Mg 2 plus CO3 2 minus 2 to get cancelled. MgCO3. Then sodium carbonate Na 1 plus CO3 2 minus. It is Na2CO3. Then one of the metal carbonate which is present in the eggshell, calcium carbonate. It is
Calcium carbonate.
CaCO3.
CaCO. To remember. And similarly, I will ask you one of the metal bicarbonate which is used as an antacid. Now,
Mg.
washing soda. Sorry, baking soda.
NaHCO3.
NaHCO3.
CO. Sodium bicarbonate.
hydrogen.
Sodium hydrogen carbonate. Similarly, tell magnesium hydrogen carbonate.
MgHCO3. MgHCO3.
CO3 twice. Chemical formula perfect ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. Mg 2 plus HCO3 1 minus crossing over charges. Mg1 HCO3 twice. Got it? So these are few metal carbonates and these are few metal bicarbonates, also called metal hydrogen carbonate. Now let us come to know what happens when acids react with either metal carbonate or metal bicarbonate. Right up, second one. Second one, reaction with metal carbonate. Second one, reaction with metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate or metal bicarbonate. Metal bicarbonate. Metal bicarbonate. Voilà. Finished. Observe. Now let us come to know what happens when acid reacts with metal carbonate or metal bicarbonate. So here also experimental arrangement. Roughly I'll draw. Just observe. Don't go for copying anything. Here, let me take a test tube. In that, we'll go for taking any one metal carbonate. ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರೆ Na2
Sodium
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 carbonate,
carbonate.
and this is to be fitted to an iron strand. Next, you'll go for adding acid. So for adding acid, first we will close the mouth of the test tube with a 2-hole rubber cup. In one of the hole, we'll go for inserting fissure funnel. You directly add more, but particularly we use this fissure funnel when you are using the concentrated one, concentrated acid. Only for the safety purpose, we'll go for using this fissure funnel. Next, other end. Sorry, in the other hole, January 2, then where it is to be passed. No, January tube is used when gas is liberated. Gas is liberate explain. Sodium carbonate is taken in the test tube. Now let us go for adding any one acid. Sound out. Dilute
hydrochloric acid.
Carbonic acid, many are them. As you said, I'll go for taking dilute hydrochloric acid. It is added. What happens? Another thing. Immediately the reaction starts. How do you come to know that?
Carbon dioxide.
Because you will come to know that by observing the brisk effervescence that are formed. Very large number of soap bubbles irutala. Sorry, like soap foam are iti barta hogutte. Got it? That means here also the gas is liberated. Yes, obviously we have to check which is that gas. Yes, ಯಾವುದು gas ಇರಬಹುದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, right? So what you do, you pass this gas into the soap solution. Bubbles ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Is it not? But these bubbles does not burst with a pop sound, which indicates hydrogen gas is not liberated. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? In this, in the acid hydrogen is there, one chance is hydrogen ಬರಬೇಕು, hydrogen gas, but that has not come. What is the next possibility? Carbon dioxide. Let us check whether it is carbon dioxide or not. How do you go for checking? The liberated gas is carbon dioxide. Yes, very good.
When we bring a burning flame to it, it goes
Whenever the
off.
gas is liberated, this gas should be passed into the lime water. Here, look here. In one of the test tube, I'll take the lime water. What is that lime water? Calcium hydroxide.
Calcium hydroxide.
Solution is taken. When this gas is passed into the calcium hydroxide solution, immediately it turns milky white color get turn on. White color get turn on. We can say that the liberated gas is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide pass ಆದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ alive. It will turn milky. You may be thinking that how it is possible. See that? What is this? Carbon. It is a gas. Alva? And this is aqueous solution. It is gas and it is aqueous solution. What happens when gas is passed into the aqueous solution? Precipitate is
Formation
formed.
of precipitate.
Yes,
Formation
very
of
good.
precipitate.
You are right. Very good. Very good. Now, ಅದನ್ನ already ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. In the very first chapter only. Precipitate is formed under two conditions. Is it not? But now, ಹೌದೇನಮ್ಮ? Very good, girl. You can look after the rabbit afterwards. Now, you just observe it. Here, when precipitate is formed under two conditions. One is when two aqueous solutions react with each other. Second one is when gas is passed into the aqueous solution. Gas is passed into the aqueous solution. Obviously, the precipitate is formed. But you know, CO2 plus CaOH twice. The reaction between these two will produce a precipitate. Yavado? Precipitate.
CaCO3, sir.
Calcium carbonate.
CaCO3 plus S2. It is a white solid chemical substance which is insoluble in water. And this is calcium carbonate. And its color is white. Because of that only, it will turn white color. Clear up? See, here, once I write the chemical reaction, just observe. First, the dilute HCl acid, it reacts with the metal carbonate called Na2CO3, gives rise to
NaCl.
NaCl plus CO2 plus H2O, sir.
Sodium chloride.
Carbon dioxide gas also release ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? CO2 plus it displaces hydrogen.
Sodium chloride.
Form
NaCl.
chloride solution. You may write aqueous orange ಜೊತೆಗೆ water ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು. Acid reacts with the metal carbonate to produce salt and water with the liberation of carbon dioxide. Salt and water with the liberation of carbon dioxide. And we'll go for testing the given liberated gases, carbon dioxide, by passing that into the calcium hydroxide. If calcium hydroxide solution turn milky, which indicates the liberated gas is carbon dioxide. It turns milky due to the formation of the precipitate. What is that precipitate? Calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate ಬಂದಿದೆ. Now let us continue. Continuously pass carbon dioxide into this. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಮಗ?
It will lose its milkiness, sir.
ಈಗ calcium carbonate CaCO3 ಬಂದಿದೆ ನಾವು. And water is there. But still we are passing carbon dioxide continuously.
CaHCO3 is formed, sir.
Here, due to as we pass excess amount of carbon dioxide into the calcium carbonate and water, we get a dissolved salt called calcium hydrogen carbonate. Tell the chemical formula.
HCO3.
CO3. Twice or not?
Twice, sir.
Twice. 4 times.
Why, sir?
Twice. Sure?
Twice, sir.
Yes, sir.
CaHCO3 twice, and we'll get a clear solution. Clear solution. So these are the important points to be remembered. Once I repeat, first is when acid reacts with the metal carbonate, produces salt and water with the liberation of carbon dioxide. Next, when carbon dioxide is passed into the calcium hydroxide solution, produces a precipitate called calcium carbonate, then water. When excess amount of carbon dioxide is passed into the solution, it produces calcium hydrogen carbonate, which is dissolved in water. Water will dissolve. Then we get a clear solution. Follow? Now, again, you'll go for drawing the figure. Right. First, draw a test tube. What is to be taken in this?
Sodium carbonate.
Sodium carbonate ಅಥವಾ bicarbonate. ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ತಗೋಬಹುದು. Then it should be this test tube should be fitted to an iron strap. Draw an iron strap. Next, draw the rubber cork. Please draw with me. To hold a rubber cork. Next, in one word, we will insert fission funnel, which is used for adding an acid. Next, in the other word, we will insert delivery tube. One end of delivery tube is inserted into the bore, and other end is to be inserted into the test tube containing lime water or calcium hydroxide solution. Then complete this iron stand. Now, let's go for level. Go on labeling with me. Yes. What is this? What is this? It is fission funnel,
Funnel.
which is used for adding acid to the given content. Next. Name this. Name this. Delivery tube.
Delivery tube.
Right. Delivery tube. Next. Third one. Rubber car.
Rubber cork.
Just to differentiate the added acid, I'm using the blue color. What does this blue color indicate? ಯಾವ acid
Dilute
ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ?
hydrochloric acid.
Dilute
Dilute
HCl.
HCl.
Right. Dilute HCl. Next. Name the carbonate that we have taken.
Sodium
Sodium
carbonate.
carbonate. Chemical formula. Na2CO.
Na2CO.
Next. This is test tube. Name the compound that is taken in this test tube.
Calcium hydroxide.
Calcium hydroxide. CaOH. Fine. Calcium hydroxide solution. And this is an iron stamp. Over. Here you can also show this gas. Which is this gas? Carbon dioxide. Already we have come to know that. See. Again, tell the reaction, actual reaction takes place. First, the taken acid is HCl plus Na2CO3, sodium carbonate. Na2CO3 gives rise to NaCl, salt, plus water,
CO2.
plus carbon dioxide.
CO2.
Hydrochloric acid reacts with sodium carbonate to produce the salt called sodium chloride, water with the liberation of carbon dioxide. Suppose we take sodium bicarbonate in place of sodium carbonate. Aವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Same products are
Same,
formed.
sir.
Same procedure only. Everything is same. Only the thing is, in place of sodium carbonate, you have to take sodium bicarbonate. Right? HCl plus sodium carbonate, NaHCO3 gives rise to sodium chloride, NaCl plus H2O plus CO. Now let us go for writing the general chemical equation. General chemical equation. There are two possibilities. In first possibility, we have taken metal carbonate. Second possibility, we have taken metal bicarbonate. First one, acid reacts with metal
carbonate.
carbonate, metal carbonate to produce salt.
Carbon dioxide.
With the liberation of carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide. Next, another one. Just tell that acid
Acid plus
reacts with metal
metal
bicarbonate.
hydrogen carbonate.
Right. Metal bicarbonate gives rise to same product. Salt plus water
Plus carbon dioxide.
plus carbon dioxide. Here also you have to highlight this. Alright. Now let us take few examples. Hydrochloric acid, HCl, when it reacts with the salt called magnesium carbonate. It is bigger.
Na2CO3.
MgCO3, right? Gives rise to magnesium chloride, MgCl2, plus water plus carbon dioxide. Similarly, I take HCl plus MgHCO3 twice magnesium hydrogen carbonate, magnesium bicarbonate.
Magnesium chloride plus water plus carbon dioxide.
MgCl2 plus S2O, then carbon dioxide, CO, same products. Let me take an acid as H2SO4. Sulfuric acid, when it reacts with calcium carbonate, CaCO3, very good. It produces the compounds called, first salt, calcium carbonate, CaCO3, plus, wait, calcium sulfate, salt is calcium sulfate, plus water, plus carbon dioxide. Right. H2SO4 plus calcium bicarbonate, CaCO3 twice. Compounds that are formed, CaSO4, calcium sulfate, plus water, S2O, and carbon dioxide, CO. Note, first point. In this testing for carbon dioxide, how do you test the liberation of gases carbon dioxide? When it is passed into the lime water, it turns milky due to the formation of the white precipitate called calcium carbonate. Therefore, the liberated gas is carbon dioxide. Right. Carbon dioxide passed into the calcium hydroxide solution, It produces the compound called calcium carbonate, CaCO plus S2, right? Overall. Finished? Now, could you tell what happens when excess amount of carbon dioxide is passed into the calcium hydroxide? So, no, calcium hydrogen carbonate, calcium bicarbonate is formed, which is dissolved in water to get a clear solution. I'm right, like you excess amount of carbon dioxide hangadu bari, or else ಇದು already form ಆಗಿದೆ, that is CaCO3 plus S2. In spite of formation of this, we are passing carbon dioxide continuously. Then we will get CaHCO3 twice plus S2. And it is in aqueous form. Clear solution you will get. Reference clear solution. Finished up. Now let me ask you one simple question. Name the dissolved salt, or name the salt which is soluble in water, which is formed by, or when excess amount of carbon dioxide is passed into the calcium hydroxide solution. What will you write?
Calcium
Calcium
bicarbonate.
bicarbonate.
Calcium bicarbonate.
So this is about reaction of acids with metal carbonate or metal bicarbonate. Products are same only, salt, water and carbon dioxide. Now we have come across two reactions, two important reactions. First one, acid reacts with the metal to produce, name the products, salt and
Water.
hydrogen gas.
Hydrogen gas.
Salt with the liberation of hydrogen gas. When acid reacts with a metal carbonate or metal bicarbonate, produces salt,
water,
Water, carbon
carbon
dioxide.
dioxide liberated.
carbon dioxide. Now, third one. What is third one? Reaction of acids with base. It's very simple,
Base.
right? Third one. Reaction of third one, reaction with base. Name some of the bases like sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, aluminum hydroxide, so many are.
Potassium hydroxide.
Let me go for taking very familiar base called NaOH. Yavudaadru acid thought? Let us take the most familiar one, HCl. How do you come to know that the reaction between the acid called HCl and base called NaOH? Do you have activity?
NaCl.
Because the products that are formed are
Sodium chloride and water.
Sodium chloride plus water.
But in an experiment conduct ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Very simple experiment. You are very familiar with burette, right? In school lab ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? Burette. The long tube, glass tube, having the stopper. ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಈ ರೀತಿದು? Okay. Assume that we will go for fixing it to an iron stand. Iron standing a fixed one. Next, we will go for taking a conical flask. The flask comes. Let me take conical flask. In this, let me go for taking the base. What is that base? Just we have assumed
NaOH.
Then in this, let me go for adding phenolphthalein indicator. What happens? It turns pink.
Turns pink.
Immediately, when you add a few drops of phenolphthalein indicator, immediately it turns pink.
Pink.
A pink color in it. Next, here in this burette, we have taken the acid. What is that acid? HCl.
HCl.
Go for leaving the acid into the conical flask containing sodium hydroxide. Drop wise here in the outcome. Just a few drops and go for shaking it well. What will be your observation?
It will be colorless.
A color.
What is that? Okay. The color start disappearing. Pink color start disappearing. First you look. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ dark irutte, then it becomes lighter, then fainter, and finally it disappears. Disappears antandre now whatever the acid is added, it reacts with the sodium hydroxide and it gets neutralized. Immediately stop burning. Then you go for adding again few drops of phenolphthalein indicator.
It again
turns
pink.
pink. Then go for adding acid. Shake it well. I'm shaking you again. You'll notice that after some time,
The color.
it nullifies the color. And then the acid-base reaction, it is neutralization. Neutralization agide andre, obviously it forms a salt as well as water. Salt and water are formed. Yeah. Acid reacts with the base to produce salt and water. So this experiment has not been given, just only for the sake of information. I told this. Hence, we will go for writing the general chemical equation directly for. Right. General chemical equation. General chemical equation. Yes. Aryan M. Shetty, go on writing with me. Yen think ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ಯಪ್ಪ? Huh? Right. Acid
Plus
React with base.
base,
Form salt plus
from
water.
salt and water.
Water.
salt
Plus
plus
water.
water. Highlight that in the box. When acid reacts with a base, produces salt and water. Now let us go for taking few examples. HCl plus
Plus NaOH.
Use rise to.
NaCl.
The salt is NaCl.
NaCl
Water will
plus
come.
H2O.
Next. H2SO4. This is sulfuric acid. Let me go for taking the base. It is MgOH twice. Name the salt that are formed by the reaction between these two.
MgSO4.
MgSO4.
MgSO4 plus H2O.
Here, you know,
MgSO4 plus
Sulfate.
H2O.
the salt which is formed. Mg is magnesium, SO4, sulfate, magnesium, sulfate.
Sulfur.
Mg, SO4 plus
Plus H2O.
water, S2. Ora. Next. HNO3. Name this acid. Nitric acid.
Nitric acid.
It reacts with barium hydroxide base.
Barium nitrate.
Barium nitrate plus water.
BaNO3.
Plus water.
Barium nitrate.
BaNO3 twice, sir.
Water.
BaNO3 twice. Plus S2.
Plus H2.
Ora. One more acid will be there. CH3 COOH. Acetic acid.
Acidic.
Name the base.
Potassium hydroxide.
Potassium hydroxide.
Potassium oxide.
CH3 COOK. Name this salt. Potassium
acetate.
Name immediate ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. If you remember, it's okay, no problem. If not, you have to write. It is potassium acetate. Then what? Voila. Next. Fourth. Fourth one. What it is?
Reaction of metallic oxide.
Reaction with
Metallic oxide.
metal oxide. Right. Reaction with metal oxide. We are very familiar with metal oxide. Like, no, it is a metal called magnesium. Name the metal oxide which is formed when it reacts with oxygen.
MgO.
Magnesium oxide. When it reacts with oxygen, it produces magnesium oxide. When calcium reacts with oxygen, calcium oxide is formed.
CO. Calcium oxide.
When sodium reacts with oxygen,
Sodium oxide.
Sodium oxide.
oxide is formed. Na2. Now, what happens when magnesium oxide is dissolved in water? Water dissolved ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ?
Magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide.
Magnesium hydroxide.
MgOH.
MgOH2.
When it is dissolved in water, you'll get a solution. You just test that solution using the litmus paper. Blue litmus paper use ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ it will be just a dark blue. When it is red litmus paper is used, it turns blue. That means the solution formed is
Acidic.
base.
Acidic.
Then what is that? Base. It is
MgOH.
magnesium hydroxide.
Hydroxide.
MgOH twice. Got it? Hence, metallic oxide is called basic oxide. Got it? All metallic oxides are basic in nature. They can
Basic.
turn red litmus to blue.
Red litmus to blue.
Calcium oxide, when it is dissolved in water, we get a hydroxide called
Red.
calcium hydroxide.
Calcium hydroxide.
Sodium oxide, when it is dissolved in water, it produces the compound called sodium
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 hydroxide.
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 Now, I'm going to take one such metal oxide. Let me go for taking, madam, Listen to me. A brown color metal. What is that brown color metal? Copper. Alva?
Copper.
And we also know that what happens when it is heated strongly.
Turns into black color.
It turns to black. Why? As it reacts with oxygen on heat, on strong heating, and produces the compound called copper oxide, which we have already come across in the chapter called
Copper
chemical
oxide.
reactions and equations in the concept called oxidation reaction. I'll explain what it is. Got it? Here, copper reacts with oxygen on strong heating to produce a black residue called copper oxide. I'll take one such copper oxide. Here it is. CuO, not Cu2O. CuO, copper oxide is taken. Then let us go for adding an acid. Now,
Dilute hydrochloric acid.
dilute acid tolerance. Let us take dilute HCl, which is very familiar to us. On adding, it reacts with copper oxide. Do you know the compound which is formed? Or else, what changes that you observe when dilute HCl reacts with copper oxide? A blue-green color solution is obtained. Do you know what is that blue-green color?
Copper chloride. Copper chloride.
Is CuCl.
Copper.
CuCl2 bharatha. CuCl2 solution. That's it. As it is aqueous, we can say CuCl2 plus S2. Alva? Followed or not? We all know that metal oxides are basic in nature. Here, acid is reacting with metal oxide means it is reacting with the base. When acid reacts with the base, it produces salt and water. In this case, the salt is CuCl2, then water H2. Now, could you tell what happens when acid reacts with metal oxide?
Form salt.
Produces
Form salt and
Salt and water.
water.
Right. Adunu kuda direct age bari. Or else will you write the activity? Idonu barkobadi. He said. Draw a test tube and draw another test tube like this. Let's go for level. What is this?
HCl.
Test tube.
H2.
Then name the acid that we have taken.
Dilute
Hydrochlor HCl.
Dilute HCl. Dilute hydrochloric acid.
Sumuk K. Gowda. Sumuk K. Gowda. Sumuk K. Gowda. Will you have been writing or not? Sumuk K. Gowda. Do you have been writing or not? You are sitting simply. That is why I am asking.
Now,
Go on writing this. Okay.
name the metal oxide that we have taken. Copper oxide.
Copper oxide.
Copper.
CuO. Let me show. This is the reaction has taken place. After the reaction, we get a solution. Let me write that solution here. I'm drawing one more test tube. Blue green color, na?
Shashank JS,
You
Shashank JS, do you have been writing or not?
Writing, sir.
Show me.
in the compound.
Copper chloride.
Cl2.
Copper chloride.
What we have done, it is aqueous form. Write the chemical equation. Still there. Acid HCl plus metal oxide CuO gives rise to salt CuCl.
Copper chloride plus water.
You can also write water. Yes. Next, general chemical equation. Still that general chemical equation.
Acid plus
plus
base.
metal oxide
Metal oxide.
gives rise to
Salt and water.
salt plus water. Salt plus water. Right. Few examples. Right. HCl plus MgO. MgCl2 plus water H2. Next. H2SO4 plus calcium oxide. CaSO4, very good.
Calcium sulfate.
Plus water.
Sure.
Written up. Have you written? So these are the 4 important chemical properties of acids. Just listen to me. Recall the points. First, what happens when acid reacts with a metal? Produces salt with the liberation
Salt
of
and water.
And
hydrogen.
hydrogen.
Hydrogen
What
gas.
happens when acid reacts with the metal carbonate?
Acid
Produces
plus metal.
salt and
Salt,
water.
water,
Water
carbon
and carbon
dioxide.
dioxide.
And
Carbon
carbon
dioxide.
Right. Even it is same in case of metal bicarbonate also.
My bicarbonate.
Third one. What happens when acid reacts with a base?
Salt and water.
Salt
Acid
plus water
react
is
with
formed.
base, salt plus
Salt
water.
And water.
water.
What happens when acid reacts with metal oxide?
Salt.
Acid plus
Salt plus
metal
water is
oxide, salt plus water.
Salt plus water.
Tomorrow we have some more important concepts we shall go for discussing, and tomorrow you will be having online performance test. I think 11. The syllabus is acid, bases and salts. What I'll cover till tomorrow. Okay.
Sir.
So with this, let us stop the class. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.